Okay guys, welcome back to episode 6 of our Christmas theme game. Today we are going to be carrying on with working on the Santa's head that pops up, which is our target object. We need to try and finish that and try and get the, once it's popped up over the wave, we want it to come back down and then eventually get destroyed if the user didn't click on it. So we'll pop back into Unity and do that, and then depending on how fast that we do that or how long it takes, we might try and get the other levels to work as well. It shouldn't be too difficult because we just simply need to do the exact same thing but bring it down a little bit. So let's jump into our display. So here it is. So this is where we left off yesterday. Where's my mouse? This is where we left off yesterday, I think. All we have today or yesterday is our heads that go up, and then I think we started implementing them. Well, we started trying to implement them to come back down, but we failed. We didn't get it done. So currently they are just stuck at the top there, and then you can see they like more and more just get instantiated and then pop up right behind them. So that's what we need to fix as well. Probably do that in the next episode. But let's go and jump into our code and see a few things. But first of all, before we do that, I want to change one thing. So on our, I think it is the actual prefab of our target. Let's go to our Santa's head here. We have, no, it's not that. It is a target manager. Actually, I think it should be fine. Pop up in our script. Okay, yeah, let's change this. So we are going to change the name of our script simply because the script does not pop up our target object. It simply just instantiates the target object into the game, and then from there, once it's in the game, we hand that off to the actual prefab itself to handle the pop up and move down, the pop down if you want to call it. So let's go and change that. So we could change it to, what can we change it to? It instantiates the target object, so let's go and say I think we'll just leave it as instantiate target object. So let's copy that. Make sure I spelled that correct. Okay, so we'll copy that. So we need to save that, and then we need to go back into our project here and change. First of all, we need to remove that and then add it again. So this needs to be, we need to change it over here, otherwise it doesn't pick it up. So pop up, we need to change the name of this to that. Then back on our target manager, we are going to go and add it in. So let's add that onto there, and then we can drag in our target object from our prefab. So that in this case it is our Santa's head for now, but we will go and change it later on. We'll add more, as like I said in the first or second episode, we will add an array of targets so that it is random all the time, so you don't get stuck with the same target to shoot or to hit over and over again. Okay, so now that we've changed that, let's go and change our method, because it does not pop up our target, instead it instantiates target. So let's go and type instantiate target. Let's get rid of that like that. That should be fine, so we can save that, and then that's it. Let's just go and run the game again and see if this works. So we should get our Santa heads popping up, and then they stay there. So now let's go and work on the move, or the pop down. So in the move target script here, we need to change a few things because it doesn't currently move the target down, which is what we wanted to do. So let's go and change a few things. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a new boolean here, and we'll call this public. Actually, let's call this private, because we don't really need it to be seen in the inspector. So private, and we don't need to access it from anyway, so we'll save it as private bool. We'll call this is moving up, and we'll set it to true as default, because as soon as the target gets instantiated into the scene, we want it to move up straight away. So we'll set that as true. And then what else do we need to do? We need to only allow the target object to move up if moving up is set to true. So here we can go and say if is moving up, then we can allow this method to be called. So let's go and play that and see if that still works. So it should work. So we still get our targets moving up. That's good. The next thing we need to do is we need to change that once it's reached the limit. So when it stops in our game up here somewhere, we want to go and swap the value. So from true, we're going to swap it to false, so that if it's not moving up, it moves down. So where do you want to do this? For this, we need to do this in our moving target object. So once it's reached our the limit, which I think is upper limit transform, where it's 1. So when it reaches 1 or goes above 1, we want to go and change the value. So let's get rid of our start coroutine here. And here, instead of starting our coroutine there, we're going to start it somewhere else. But instead of doing that, let's go and put in let's go change the value of is moving up to equal to false. So we'll save that, and then I'm just going to tidy this up quick and put this over here. So is moving up is equal to false, just so it looks a little bit more simple. Okay, so what else do we need to do? But now we've got that set to false. We also need to go and call our move object down. So we're going to do this in our update method, but we don't want to do this every frame. We only want to do it when the is moving up boolean is equal to false. So let's copy this, paste it there, and we'll say if is not moving up, move target object down, like that. So let's go and see if this works. So hopefully it does work. But if it doesn't, then we will have to figure out another way. So clearly that's not working. Of course, why would it work? So let's see. What have we done wrong? Let me look at my notes quick. Okay, so a simple fix. We forgot to put the start coroutine in front of there. So that we can do like that, and then we can save it, and hopefully now this will fix the problem. So we should get our Santa's heads popping up, and after a second delay they pop down. So that is perfect. That's pretty much what we want. So let's see, that is perfectly fine. So let's see, the only problem with this is they are still in our scene, so you can see them still shifting or moving all the way down, and they're just going to go forever. They're not really going to stop unless we tell them to stop. So that is what we're going to do now. Let's go and do that. So actually we could add a value that when they go past this value, go and destroy them, but I'm going to do it a different way. I am going to add a new game object, or new, what are we going to add? Let's add, why can't I add 2D shapes in? Let's just see something quick. Where's my internet? For some reason I can't add 2D shapes. Unity cannot add where's my 2D shapes in scene. Okay, clearly I'm missing something. Let's go to our where is it? Our package manager quick and see. Let's go to 2D in project in Unity, and we'll do that again. 2D. So I think let's install that and see if that works. So hopefully that will give us access to some of our like shapes and stuff. I don't know, that should be installed, but probably because I cleared it earlier on before we made the what's it called, the project. So let's go in here. Okay, so that's still importing. So what have we got included? Animation, sprite. Okay, so that should give us what we want to find. Okay, so there we go. 2D object, this is what I'm looking for. Let's go and add in a square. And we are just going to drag this out like this. So put that like that. And then we will reset the position of X to 0, so it's in the middle. And then we'll add the Y position at -8, just so that it's at the bottom there somewhere. Then we don't really want an asset, so let's go and say none. Cool. So let's see, square. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave. Let's undo that. So just so that we can see them hitting it. So I'm going to put this as like a dark red. So that should be fine. So now whenever let's play this. So whenever our target objects move from there all the way down, as soon as they hit this square or rectangle, and they are going to get destroyed. So let's go and do that. So on here, let's go and rename this to, what can we rename this to? This can be out of bounds. I don't know, you can name it whatever you want. Let's just name it like that for now. Let's go and add in a new script. On here we will call this destroy target object. So we'll create that and add that onto there, and then let's go and edit this. So on here, all we want to do is get rid of that, I think. We don't need the start and update for now. What we want to put on here is our on collision enter 2D. So whenever something collides with this, we are simply going to go and say destroy game object, rather collision game object. So that's going to destroy anything that collides with it. I think, if I can remember correctly, if you just put destroy game object, it's going to destroy whatever the script is attached to, which is our rectangle, which we don't want, because if we do that, then our this box will be destroyed, and then all of our other target objects will just carry on moving down. So let's go save that. And now on this out of bounds, we need to add another component, and that is going to be our collider. So box collider, we'll add that on. So let's just make sure it surrounds our entire box, which it does. That's fine. So let's play the game and see if this works. We might have to add a collider onto our target objects. So let's see if anything works. Okay, so they do not get destroyed. So let's go to our prefab, and on our prefab we will add in a, let's just add in, I'm just going to add in a box collider for now, because like I said, these are not our final what do you call our target objects. So I am just going to make it smaller like that, so that for now it only hits, or only gets destroyed when it actually touches the Santa's head. So we'll save that, and then let's go back to our game, and now let's play that and see if it gets destroyed. So now that they both have, okay, they don't, that's strange. Okay, so let's go and see out of bounds. Let's go debug.log. This is going to be collision. Let's save that, save it, and see what we get. So we should get in our console, what am I doing? In our scene, when our Santa's heads go down across them, we should get that, like we should get something registered that they collide with it, but clearly not. So let's go and say, oh, I think I know why. So on our Santa's, let's open that and add in a rigid body. So I think we can delete this, a box collider, and then on here we can say rigid body 2D, and then we can get rid of our gravity scale because we don't want that. We'll set that to 0. Let's play that and see what that looks like. So hopefully now this gives what are we doing? Okay, so they still work, that's fine, but it's still not colliding. So let's go back and add in our collider. Save that, and then let's go back to our game and play this game. So hopefully now they will get destroyed when they cross the collider, which they do. That's perfect. Okay, so you can see that if we play the game, they will always probably only be a few target objects in the game at one point, because we could actually probably move this up a little bit just so that our what's it called, let's put it over there just in case they spawn on top of that and they get destroyed by accident. So let's play that and see if this works. Well, not see if it works, let's see it working, because it does work. Okay, cool. So those are working nicely. You can see our target objects are going up, and then as soon as they hit this object they get destroyed, which is what we want. I do not like how long they are in the game for, because I mean that's quite simple to press, if you can see. So we press that one, then we press that one, then we press that one. Okay, so let's go and change that delay, because that delay is a bit too slow. So in our global we can, I think it's this delay, let's go make it 0.5 and see what that is like. So hopefully this actually gives you a little bit of a challenge. So yeah, so that's a little bit faster. And remember, they are going to be other levels as well. So for now we've only got our Santa or target objects spawning at the top here, but we do want them to also spawn in the middle here and then at the bottom as well. So what's the time? We probably end this episode over here. Let's just have a look and see how complicated this is and see if we want to move on. Okay, so if the transform dot position, okay, global, yeah. So the only thing we really need to change is these to upper level and upper level transform value, okay. Pop-up speed delay, yeah, that's fine. I think that's fine. So, well, let's try this quickly. Let's go in here and say we can simply pass in a value here and say what are these? Are these integers? So they are floats. Okay, so we'll make it a float for now, and then later on, if we want to change it, we can change it. So this will be a private, actually this is in the wrong place. This needs to be here in our move target object up as a parameter. So let's go and say float. This is going to be upper level. Let's go and say level. And then we can replace this with level. Upper level transform value, upper level transform value. Okay, so these are both the same. So we can go and say level. And the same with this one. This will be level. It will save that, and then in here let's just go and say global dot upper level transform value. So we'll save that, see if this still works. If it does work, we should be able to just pop in our middle level and see it hopefully works. But of course, this is probably not going to work first time. It would be a miracle if it actually does work. So let's play it and see if it works. So I'm going to go to our scene and see where it's... See, the problem with this is that we can't really... we need to change the order in layer as well. Where are we doing that? move target object up. Okay, so we also need to change it in here. So this is going to be a bit of a problem because when we instantiate the object, we need it to be on a certain order in layer so that it appears in front or behind certain waves. But also that we also need to change the this value, the level transform value, depending on which order in layer it is. So we might have to figure out a simple way to do that. So we'll do that in the next episode, but let's just go in here and see. So when we instantiate the order, we are simply passing in the order in layer. And then I think that is the only thing that's going to change. So we got our minimum target value and a max target value. I don't think that changes. We have our global upper level, so this will change. And then this will change. Okay, so we need to pass in our upper level layer. So let's go and do that now quick. So in here we want to go and say upper level Y. What is it? So it's going to be a float again. Float level Y value. And we can replace this with that, just like that, and I think that's fine. And then in here we need to pass in our global dot upper level Y. Okay, so we'll save that, and then we will play the game and see if it works again. So that's fine, that works. So now I want to test something quickly. So I'm going to change this to upper level layer, or I'm going to change it from upper level layer to middle level layer. Middle level Y. Then I'm going to go into our moving target, and then that's fine. Let's save that and see if this works on our middle level. So we should theoretically get our Santa's heads popping up here, which they do, but also we need to change that value. Okay, so let's go and test something again. So let's go and change this to lower level transform value. In our, we'll save that. In our instantiate object, we're also going to change this from middle to lower, and then this is also going to be our lower level Y. So something we also need to figure out is, or not figure out, but we need to change our restrictions depending on which level we instantiate them on. So move target up if transform.position.y is less than the level, then go and move it up. So let's play that and see if that works. So what have we got? We have got, okay, so that one's fine, okay, but it's not working there. Did we change all of it? Lower level transform value. Lower level, minimum target value. Okay. Anyway, we'll figure this out in tomorrow's episode. On Monday's episode, because it's going out on Friday the 16th. So on Monday's episode, we'll figure out a easier way on how to deal with all of these different levels and the different orders and layers, so it's a lot easier to implement. Over the weekend I'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, that's it for today's episode again. So if you enjoyed this, thank you again for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like the video if you want. It's up to you. It'll be appreciated if you did, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.